Shakia. Hi. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm well. How are
I'm
you?
well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I
Yes.
absolutely appreciate this opportunity.
Well, let me tell you, we are honored to have you, and I'm excited to learn more about you and your amazing business. So, with all of that said, please speak to me about why did you start your business? What was your starting point?
Absolutely. So a little bit of history about me is I'm from Philadelphia, of course, Southwest, grew up in Southwest,
Okay.
went to John Bartram High School, went to Pierce for undergrad, went to Widener Law for my jurisprudence and corporate law and
Beautiful.
side in healthcare law. So, working from a corporate background, I found that I wanted to do something more meaningful. While the job was very meaningful, I wanted to do something where my family could have generational wealth. So I got into wine, and it comes from my passion and my love for wine. When my husband and I, we travel, we make sure we have three things: wine, spa, and coffee.
Okay.
So just doing that, it just helped me, gear towards a path as to what it is that I wanted to do. So while we lived in Virginia Beach, I decided to work for a winery in Virginia Beach, and that is how I learned how to, one, make wine, and two, operationalize a winery. So I saw that, there weren't many small batch wineries here in Philadelphia. So I decided to come back home and start my business here. And, I'm really thankful that I have family to come in and help out. And, that's the reason why we got started. There weren't many small batch wineries in Pennsylvania. So we decided to come back home and just bring it back to Philly.
Awesome, awesome. I always love a Philly pride story, and yours is a testament to that. Speak to me about what is the difference between a small batch winery and one would suggest your traditional winery?
Sure. So a small batch winery in this aspect is considered any winery that makes under 200,000 gallons of wine, which it sounds like it's a lot.
Yeah,
It is a lot,
okay.
as opposed to a larger winery which make over 200,000 gallons of wine.
Okay.
And we definitely are under the 200,000 gallon mark. So, that's the difference between us and a larger winery in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Why wine? Okay, so you said your passion for wine, but there are so many breweries in our area, not just in Philadelphia, but surrounding counties. Why wine? Did it speak to you? Do you have a specific flavor? Why wine?
Absolutely. So wine is just one of those things that no matter what type of grape you have or what type of grape you use, it can be played on in many different ways. So there's so many diverse things that you can do with wine, and you're not pigeonholed to that specific type of traditional wine. So that's
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I got into wine is actually I started out making wine gummies. And then from there, I was
Wine
like,
gummies?
wine gummies,
Okay.
yes. And then I
Little
was just like,
nostalgia.
uh, they're so fun and easy to make. It's three ingredients, and they're so fun and easy to make. But yeah, wine is just one of those things. It's interesting, it's sophisticated, it's complex, and you meet all those requirements when you're making the wine. And just to be a part of that and the deep dive and the fermentation process and the bottling process, it's just something that's just so gratifying.
Mhm, mhm. What makes your wine stand out from your competitors?
Well, considering that we are a small batch winery, we have the flexibility to make different wines throughout the year. So we stick to our 16 noble wines or 16 wine staple wines that we do year round. And then throughout the year, we play around with different seasonal wines. So for Thanksgiving, we have our cranberry wine coming out. For Christmas, we're doing a gingerbread wine, and we're also doing the 8 sampler pack.
Okay.
Um, Maybe later on down the line, I may dibble and dabble into champagne. So that's one of the things that, allow us to stand out because we're not held to those specific large tanks where we're, expected to make those types of wines year round. We can play around with different flavors.
What motivates you? One would suggest that there's not a lot of diversity, there's not a lot of women in this field. What motivates you to continue to grow your business, but to cultivate those necessary relationships?
Out of over 11,000 wineries in the United States, there are less than 100 that are Black owned.
Okay.
So just knowing that, I knew that I wanted to be part of the solution in the winemaking industry.
Yeah.
And in any way that I can guide, the next generation, or, people coming up after me, to the wine industry, I would love to do that. And that's what motivates me. And also, we're family owned and operated, having my family there and being a part of the process. So those are the two motivating factors of the winery.
What does it look like for you in the next 5 years in your business? Where do you see this winery going?
In the next 5 years, so, I don't know if you're familiar, but last or earlier this year, we participated in when I say we, our winery was a visionary, and then the Women's Coalition for Empowerment under the guidance of Shakina B. We worked with Cherry Street Pier to create the first Juneteenth Wine and Arts Festival. So we are looking to do something like that as an annual event.
Beautiful. And explain to me what that festival did for your business.
Specifically for my business, it definitely opened up people's minds to see, this is a Black-owned winery, wine festival,
Yeah.
and it actually promoted my business. And in addition to that, we had three wineries that we worked with. So Mark and Val, he is the first Black-owned winery in Pennsylvania, and then Black Oak, located on Ridge Avenue. So
Yes.
we were very deliberate in selecting Pennsylvania Black-owned wineries. And then the vendors that we worked with were from Philadelphia. So our goal was to recycle dollars back into Pennsylvania, back into Philadelphia, and that's what we want to do, is continue to have these collaborations and partnerships and recycle dollars back into Philadelphia and Pennsylvania.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Shakia, thank you so much for speaking to us today. Thank you for giving us a behind the scenes peek of your dynamic business. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Sure.